and then let me know before it's going to go live.
Okay. What's up?
Okay. I think we got our issues worked out. Sorry about the technical problems. We did a test a little while ago and everything was working fine. And then, of course, when we went to actually go live, it stopped working fine. So jump over into this new stream. We'll give a few minutes for people coming over from the scheduled stream. And definitely put in the chat where you're watching and listening from, because I'm very curious about that. And we'll start getting into some fun stuff. This is our first ever virtual merch booth. silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com. So that's actually a good note. Jerry is going to put in the chat, if you win something, because we're going to do a bunch of giveaways today. If you win something, we will put an email address, which is silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com, in the chat. And we would ask that you send your full name and mailing address to that email address if you win, along with your screen name so we can connect it to the chat, so that we can mail you things. Because we are going to be giving away a bunch of physical stuff, which I have here. We've got a bunch of shirts from our archives, old classic shirts here. Some of them I forgot we ever made. That's pretty fun. We have limited edition stuff that almost no one has ever had access to in the public before. We're going to be giving some of that away. We've got some of our beer pint glasses out from the archives, which is pretty fun. So we've got a lot of fun stuff to do today. Thanks for joining us. Definitely let us know where you're from in the chat. I've got the ability to monitor the chat here. I have a Spindrift here in my favorite koozie from Florida. So I will be enjoying that. And we'll get started. Here in the room with me, I've got my brother Jeremiah is on the tech devices. He's the one who solved the issue for us and got us live. So feel free to throw out questions for him. You know, Jeremiah and I are the primary songwriters and lead vocalists for the Silent Comedy. If you haven't seen us live before, you might not know that. So feel free to throw out any questions in the course of this. We will answer them and do our best to answer them. And we've also got our good buddy Nathaniel from Fierce Creatures here, who many of you know. He's right off camera. He's a sneaky little guy. And so we might involve Nathaniel too. Who knows? If you have any Fierce Creatures questions, throw them out. Fierce Creatures is a great band. If you had never seen them, you should look them up online and go check out Fierce Creatures stuff. Nathaniel, are you able to get Fierce Creatures vinyl online anymore? Or have you guys pulled that all off?
We pulled all that off. I'm sure we can figure it out.
Fierce Creatures stuff is still on streamers, though, right?
Yeah, you can stream everything.
Yeah, look up Fierce Creatures on all the digital platforms, and you'll be able to hear Nathaniel's band, which is a great one. We used to play together a lot. So it looks like we've got quite a few folks from the UK, from England. We've got folks from Kentucky. Awesome. That's not very far from us. So we are broadcasting from our new headquarters in Nashville, Tennessee right now. That is where... Chatty! Hello! We have a honey bear watching. Jeremiah and I have moved to Nashville now. That is where we are headquartered out of, although we still travel constantly. So we are all over the country and the world still currently. But Kentucky, yeah, we have some Kentucky. They're not too far from us. We've got Salem, Oregon, Madison, Wisconsin. It is colder in Madison right now. It just got warm here in Nashville again. New Jersey, love it. More UK. So thank you guys for joining us. And I think to kick it off, because we had some technical problems, it took us a little while, I think I want to give something away right now just to get us started. So what should we do, guys? What should be kind of like a game to play to figure out a winner for something right off the bat?
I was not prepared.
Guess a number. We should have people guess a number. So in the chat, put a number between 1 and 10, and I have a number in my head. Whoever is the first person to get close enough will give something away, and I'll figure out what that something is here shortly. We have fun stuff. Oh, Joshua Branham, if I'm pronouncing that right, was the first one to do it. 7 was the number that I had. So Joshua, send your name and mailing address to the address that's in the pinned comment at the top of the comment box, silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com, and we will get that to you. So, Jer, if you want to go to that overhead view, we have some fun stuff. We've got an old tote bag from the Silent Comedy, which is this elephant design. There's also this cool elephant shirt that is pretty rare here. Not that many of these were made. There was a whole period of time that we were going through like an elephant phase in our design. And so there's some cool stuff from that. I think what we're going to give to Joshua for winning that first thing, we're going to give you an elephant tote with a handful of fun goodies in it and merchandise. So when you send an email to silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com, send your shirt size as well, please. So that's what we will send to Joshua. So that gets us kicking off right away. Brandy Schaefer is here. Hello, Brandy, representing from Houston. Also, hello, Amanda. Good to see you. It's been too long since we have seen you. We used to hang out all the time. But unfortunately, with not playing a lot of shows, we haven't seen most of you for a while. Michelle's here. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. So before we do another giveaway, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the fun stuff we have here today, because I opened up our archives and there's a lot of stuff that I forgot we even had. This shirt right here is one of the first kind of really mass-produced shirts we did, huh, Jer? After we started hand making?
Yeah, I think so.
We used to hand paint our merch and our shirts and everything. And this was the first thing we did kind of with an outside designer. And it was a designer who was in Orange County, California at the time, an illustrator, who does these really fun kind of cartoon-esque characters. And so this shirt is one of the first silent comedy shirts ever kind of in major production. And we have very, very few of them left. This may be one of the only ones we have left in our possession. So that's kind of fun. That's one of the fun things from the archives. We've got another tote bag here, which this one is newer. So this design was more with our enemies multiply, friends divide period of design. Has the band initials, little symbols. But we have quite a lot of these tote bags, and they haven't been on our merch site up until now, but I think we're going to add them back on. I'm actually going to add a handful of the stuff we're showing today back to the merch site, and there's limited sizes and selection, so it'll just be on sale as long as it takes for things to sell out. But after today, we're going to be putting some merch stuff back on our site that hasn't been there for a long time, like these. We've got another very early shirt design. This came after that one with the 3 cartoon gentlemen. This is something that you see behind me as well. This was our first real band symbol, which is the Charlie Chaplin, the silenced Charlie head, that used to be on a lot of our posters, used to be on a lot of our merchandise, even stage kind of decoration. Jer, if you go back to that front view, we created this wooden one that is pretty large that used to be on stage when we would do shows. And that's the Charlie head shirt that was probably our kind of second big run of more professionally produced merch, maybe third. Jer, if you go back to that overhead, this one's fun. I like this because the name of the band is on the sleeve, so it's not really, the name of the band doesn't mess with the design before it. Another thing I want to point out is one of our most popular and my favorite shirts of all time, which is this crow. So Jeremiah, who is behind the camera right now, drew this crow with the silent comedy in it, and it is on a deep V-neck, really wonderful tri-blend soft shirt. And this shirt was extremely popular, and I have always wished that it didn't have the band name so prominent because I would wear it, absolutely. but I don't usually wear things that have our name very big. So that's a really fun thing we've got today. Another thing that I forgot, so these are extremely rare. This was the first ever lapel pin. It'll take a minute for the camera to find this. If I do that, it might be easier. No, camera. This might be too small for the autofocus to focus on.
Blurry pin.
Well, this is a very cool lapel pin. You can see it from there. It's just not as big. It has the old Anagram TSC logo, which is really cool, and it's kind of a bronze pin. We only have 3 of these left in existence in our possession. So I'm going to give away one today. Not yet, but I am going to give away one. It's very cool. These are Enemies Multiply Challenge coins, which are one of my favorite pieces of merch that we have ever done. Here, I'm going to help the camera out. These are extremely cool. We took the design stuff from the album Enemies Multiply that was done by Paul Drohan, and we turned it into a challenge coin. So this is the newer Anagram logo for TSC, and it has an E and an M for Enemies Multiply. And these have like a nice weight to them. It's hard to tell over camera, but they're very cool challenge coins. And then down here on it, it says Beautiful Mistake as well, which is really fun, from Enemies. And you can do stuff like that with it. Flip it. Try to play games of chance. Those are super fun. I know more people have these, but they're kind of a little bit of a rare item. Jared, if you go back to that front view, another thing that's fun is, my dogs are going to chime in from time to time. This version of Common Faults that is on vinyl was the 5th anniversary. We decided to remix and remaster Common Faults. When we made the first version of the record, which is this one, you could see that the cover illustration was by Mike Maxwell and is blue. And Jared, if you switch to that top one again, let's see if the camera will pick this up more. Yeah. So the first cover of Common Faults was this painting done by the artist Mike Maxwell, who we're real fans of. And it is blues and greens and all these different colors. If you go back to that front view now, Jared, when we did the reissues of that album, we did the original concept sketch from the painting. So it's more of pencil outline of us. And then for the 5th anniversary, when we put the album out on vinyl for the first time, we remixed it, remastered it, and we did this cover art, which I did, that is a representation of the 4 core members that existed more in the heavy touring period of the silent comedy. And all of this stuff I carved in blocks, linoleum blocks that were block printed onto wood and then photographed, and that's what this artwork is. So if you ever see this artwork, it is the remixed, remastered version of Common Faults, which is the deluxe edition. It has this fun gatefold. Our friends and very talented photographers and filmmakers, the Jolsons, shot the whole recording process of Common Faults on film. And there are these beautiful photos that have wonderful real film grain and stuff that no one had ever really seen. So we decided with the 5th anniversary edition to give them a place for folks to see them. So they're in the gatefold, and then if you flip back to that top cam, there's a really cool booklet with this deluxe edition. These are the kinds of things that it's hard for people to see like on the merch store, because there's not a great way to represent this stuff really on the store. But all of this beautiful photography on film that was done by the Jolsons is in this booklet. So there's a whole collage on the front of our recording process. We used to have a warehouse in San Diego where we recorded a lot of Common Faults. And then for each song, there are photos that actually represent the recording process. Usually each one kind of represents the recording process for that particular song. And it's super cool. There's all of these memories from the recording of this album that it's really neat to revisit with this stuff. That is when I had no beard and shorter hair. for a lot of the tracking of this. This is Ian, who played violin with the band for quite a while. People who've been following us for a while will remember Ian. So there's really beautiful photography and stuff in this 5th anniversary reissue of Common Faults. And we've got that here. That's on vinyl. So this one is available on our website still. And after this live stream is done, which I wish I could do actually right now, is we're going to be doing a discount code. So we're kicking off the new year with a sale on our web store. We'll have a discount code. You could get 20% off of everything. We usually kick off January with a sale, start the new year off right. And all of this stuff, Common Faults, Enemies Multiply, which is the vinyl that we have up right here, all of that will be discounted on the merch store. But today on here, it's not really about selling stuff. It's about giving stuff away. So I want to do another little contest for something. Let's see. What should we give away now? You know what? I think I want to give away one of our lesser known shirts from the archives. I think that's what I'm going to do. So next to me, I have the shirt archive with all of the stuff that is very rare and that we haven't seen for a long time. So I think, you know what? I'll do this Charlie head shirt, which I was talking about a minute ago. So it's got the Charlie head. It's kind of like a beige, and the Charlie head is brown. And then it has the name of the band on the sleeve. It is very cool. Something that has been sold out for many years. But we happen to have these very small sizes on hand, which don't sell very well. Oh, and we have a bigger size. So I'm going to say, because we only have extremes on this, that if anyone wants a 2X, a double XL that is on the stream, comment with a thumbs up in the chat. I'm the first person to do that. So this is a big shirt. You don't have to actually wear a double X. It could be a night shirt. Be very comfy in that regard. Josh Branham says, I'd love to see some signed merchandise in the store. That's an interesting point. We have some signed merchandise that we're going to put in the store shortly. Bluey Fire was the first with the thumbs up. So Bluey Fire, you win this shirt. So please email silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com with your full name and mailing address, what you won as well. So just say Charlie Head shirt, and we'll get that sent out to you. So this shirt is spoken for. I'm going to put all the things that have winners in a pile so that I don't give them away again. So Josh Branham, you asked about signed stuff. That's a really good point. And in your prize package that you won, because I have yet to determine what I'm going to put all in that tote bag, I will put something signed for you since you asked about it. But this is something that we are going to be adding to the merch store. We have limited quantities of, but we're going to start selling it again. So Jer, if you go to that overhead view, this is a very cool poster of ours that is signed by the 4 core band members of the lineup as it exists now. So me, my brother Jeremiah, Chad, our cousin who plays drums, and Justin, who everyone knows as the man with the mustache, who plays banjo, mandolin, and guitar, and many other things. We all signed these, so that's a fun piece of signed merchandise. You can see with me holding it, it's 11 by 17 is the size, and it's a collage of all of these moments from our earlier touring life. All of these really fun moments of us playing shows and stuff. I love this poster. I love it quite a lot, and it's very cool, and we are going to be adding it back to the merch store. We have limited numbers of these signed ones. Right now, I think I'll give away one of these signed posters since I just showed it to you. So let's have, what can people do to win this one? You're a brain trust, Nathaniel.
I don't know if you want my insight. What color underwear are you wearing?
Oh, interesting.
See, I told
so
you, I don't know if you want my
yeah,
my
or maybe not. comment with the color of underwear that you're wearing. I have a color in mind.
Oh no, I
No,
made
no,
yours.
Guess yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's better to not crowdsource that, not put it on the public. Oh, yeah, people could guess mine.
There you go.
I have to check.
Yeah, we gotta figure out.
Okay. So guess the
we
color
got-
of underwear you think I'm
We
wearing,
got some.
and whoever gets closest will win it. And remember that this is Nathaniel's idea. This
Yeah,
is not
so-
my idea.
So
So
we did indicate that this is not appropriate
When-
for family.
yeah,
it's
exactly.
not
Not
kid-friendly.
kid-friendly.
when people start coming for whoever's idea that was, it
We
was
got a lot of
Nathaniel's.
participation on this one.
Oh,
Email to-
Tragedies Smile. One. Very
Oh, that
quickly.
one.
Only the second, or actually, I guess the fourth comment. They are gray. My underwear are gray. So Tragedies Smile.
Two-
Please email
two
silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com and you will win this poster, which is super fun. I love that poster.
Got the sign poster.
The signed
taking
poster.
notes.
Oh, thank you, Nathaniel.
Got it.
Saving my life over here.
Yeah,
Nathaniel, pop into the camera's view and say
I don't know
hello.
if you could-
Hey!
I will also gladly sign anything anybody wants. I have nothing
Nathaniel,
to do with this,
Nathaniel usually comes over and signs things over here just daily. So, now we can have a
I'll
use
sign
for
I'll
it.
sign it whatever you want.
Some fun guesses here. I do not have orange underwear, but that was a creative and interesting
That's a
guess.
pretty, Yeah,
I like it.
Pretty impressive.
Steve Keys is here. Hello, Steve. Good to see ya. We got some friends here going on. We could guess the color of underwear that Chatty's wearing while he's watching, but I think non-existent is the answer there.
There we go.
if I
That's
had to
pretty-
wager a
that's
guess.
pretty good guess too.
Let's see. What's other fun stuff we could talk about? So, for folks who haven't been following our band before, another thing I wanted to say for the folks who are on now, and I'll kind of reiterate it, is we unfortunately had to suspend our web store from shipping to Europe. And most international shipping. We changed it to just North America because of a lot of restrictions that came into play and a much higher fees for shipping overseas. So we're looking at options. We're going to bring back a UK, Europe web store in the future. We just need to find the right fit to make it less expensive for our friends across the pond to buy merch. So we're working on that. In the meantime, though, if you win something today, we will ship it internationally. So don't worry about, if you qualify or whatnot. Everyone's free to jump in on these little games, and we will send stuff to you internationally on our own dime from here. So it's easier if it's not merchandise that's sold. So one thing that's fun, I was telling you guys, we could go back to that top view. Chair. Oh, Chad's underwear are yellow. I was wrong. I was talking about our first edition of Common Faults that has the artwork of Mike Maxwell, very colorful, very cool. Mike Maxwell also did, actually, I will do one without the signatures. Mike Maxwell also did the artwork on our first self-titled EP. So this one is rare. This has been sold out and out of print for many years. We also pulled it off all of the digital streaming platforms as well because we wanted kind of newer material up. So this is just called The Silent Comedy. It's self-titled, and this was the first EP that we put out. It's pretty cool because when you open it, it has this full painting from Mike Maxwell, which is just really fun. And we actually have a big backdrop that used to hang in our old warehouse that is this painting on a huge scale. And one of these days we do a live stream, we'll actually open that up and it could be the backdrop. This has the songs Daisy, 49, Gasoline, Beware, and a song called Carnival Song, which is Chad's favorite. That's on our first EP. So for people who've been following us for a long time, you've heard this. For folks that are newer fans of ours, you probably have not heard these versions of these songs. So even though there are duplicates, like Gasoline is on Common Faults, 49 is on Common Faults, they're different versions, different recordings. So this is a pretty fun little time capsule. It was our first EP. You could go back to the front view, Jer. So one thing that's fun when I opened up the archives, because we try to keep, when we sell out of a pressing of a project, we try to keep an archive of it so that we never fully lose them to the sands of time. So I discovered some stuff in our archive that I forgot was there. Namely, the fact that we have... Oh, this is... we have a handful of copies that are signed already, which I forgot about. So these would be a pretty fun giveaway. And these are signed by the lineup at the time that we made this recording. So a totally different lineup of the band than what more recent fans would know. These are Joey Nelson was on drums. I was on half lead vocals. My brother was on the other half of the lead vocals. That hasn't changed. Ian Kesterson was playing violin. Tim Graves was on multi-instruments. And Justin Buchanan has always been there since the beginning on mandolin, banjo, and whatnot. So different lineup, different recordings. This is a very cool little piece of our history. So I think I want to give away several of these right now. So let's think here. Who should get these? I would like to know, everyone comment with the country that you're watching from. And I'm going to select a country to send them to. Let's do that. And I'm going to drink my Spindrift while we do. Doon 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 doon. All right, we've got a lot of USAs. USA. It's good. We got an England. Japan. That's awesome. Thanks for tuning in from Japan. I think we're seeing our first Japan here. Wonderful. Earlier when we first started, we had a lot more England, and I think maybe it was getting too late. It seems like some of our UK and English folks had to go to bed. So I decided Japan is the winning country for this, even though I wanted to give away multiples. For sure, I can't pronounce anything. For the person whose screen name ends in Valentino, I want to send you a whole prize pack. We'll do this signed EP. We'll put it in a tote bag. We'll throw some shirts in and whatnot. So email silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com, which is a pinned comment to the top of the comment section. That email address is there. Send us your mailing address, your preferred shirt size, and we'll do a whole little prize package for you. So that's Shreyansh Valentino. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation. This is the Silent Comedy EP. Yes, it's self-titled. It's a little. I really wish we had like QVC style graphics that could go on here. It's like, you know, for a limited time, buy 2 get 1 free. Awesome. So let's do another, because there were so many USAs there. I didn't expect that. Let's do a different giveaway for this, the self-titled EP. Everyone comment the state that you're watching from, and I will just start selecting states that I am having Nathaniel take down notes on, and we'll give out a handful of these signed DPs to folks in different states. Oh, it's 7:38 a.m. in Japan. Thank you for watching. California, New Jersey, several New Jerseys. Thank you for watching from the Garden State.
How many of these
Virginia.
that you're giving away?
Oh, I'm not sure yet. Oh, I'm just reading these off. These aren't winners. I'm deciding what states I like best.
None of y'all are winners.
Wisconsin, Tim, good to hear you from Wisconsin. Joshua in Kentucky. Joshua already won. So here we go. I'm gonna say New Jersey. New Jersey is a winning state right now. Right. So we're sending signed EPs to New Jersey, which would be Rotten Begotten and Trash Rogue. If you guys send your info, your mailing address and whatnot, to the email address that is in the pinned comment at the top of the comment section, silentcomedyinfo
Rotten
gmail.com.
Begotten and Trash
Rotten
Rogue.
Begotten
Is
and
that-
Trash Rogue.
Are those? Is that like a New Jersey thing?
I
Like
think
those
it.
names?
I think it's kind of like the Garbage Pail
Rotten-
Children.
yeah,
It's, New Jersey has a little bit of
Like
an edge to it.
Very.
Always has, always will. So New Jersey is. Oh, Colleen. Hello, Colleen. Good to see you. New Jersey is in the house and is winning.
There we go.
So, RM, you already have this. That's a flex. Not many people have this. You're killing it.
Is there any-
I'm not going to read what you said, Trash Rogue. I don't want to start stuff with New Jersey. I don't want to start a beef. I lived in New York for a while, and I already have enough disagreements with New Jersey folks. I don't want to start more. All right. So people are winning. We're having fun. Let's look at another thing that is cool to me. If you go to that overhead, Jer. This is Sunset Stables, which is our first full-length record that we ever did.
I don't think I've seen that one.
This is another one that we pulled from all the digital services, so you can't get this on iTunes, you can't get it on Spotify, and it features hand-drawn artwork by Jeremiah and myself. It was a little collaboration. It is intentionally supposed to be rough, so no judgments. And this record, Jer, if you pop back to the frontal, I'm going to read the track list for this record. So this is where Bones first appeared. Some folks who've been following us for a while would remember Bones. We haven't played it in quite a while. It's a beautiful song.
It's actually one of my favorites.
One of Nathaniel's favorites. Bones, Poison. This is a different version of Poison, isn't it, Jer?
I think so.
Isn't it that original version? So I think Poison appears on our album Common Faults, but I'm pretty sure that this version on Sunset Stables is very different. Moonshine, again, a different version, a different recording than is on Common Faults. Mrs. Miller's Secret, which is a real oldie but goodie that we're going to be re-releasing at some point, maybe this year. You'll have to wait and see. Impossible Name. Impossible Name is a song that is really cool for us. We start a lot of sets live with it. It starts very slow and then it gets a little bit more rockin'. And a lot of folks don't really know that song who are newer fans of ours because it is from way back on our first LP. It has Beware on it, which is a song that I really love Jer and my harmonies on. It has a song by our former violinist Ian Kesterson called Regrets, which is a really fun country little number. And I actually love that song Ian wrote that we put on this record. And he is... Oh, I was looking here. Interesting. Wow, even like the writing credits are different. This is when we were kind of using pseudonyms.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so we all have like pseudonyms on here.
Should we
Wow,
have people
I
guess
forgot
those?
about
Do
that.
Do you think anybody would?
I don't
know
think
what those
anyone
are?
remembers because I didn't remember we
Yeah.
ever did that until I looked at this.
That'd be the next
So yeah, it had Regrets by Ian Kesterson, River Rolls, which is one of my favorite songs that I've ever written. All Saints Day, which is one of the classics, one of the most well-known silent comedy songs that Jer wrote. I think, though, this is a different version of All Saints Day than is on Common Faults as well. So a lot of these songs we recorded initially, we didn't like the way they turned out the first time, so we redid them. So this album is pretty cool. And it has a cover of a song from the late 60s that we did called Great American Novel. The only time that a cover has appeared on an actual record of ours, The Chain that we just released recently, is a cover that we put out digitally, but it's not on one of our albums. I think this is the only time that we had a cover on one of our albums. So that is Sunset Stables, first LP that the silent comedy ever did. And I think I want to give some of these out if people don't have them. So let's see. What is a
Did you
question
see
we could ask?
Chad's-
Did Chatty ask a question?
He said, which state did the Charlie head fall on me while I was playing?
Oh, that is a good question, Chad. Let's do that to give away Sunset Stables. But Chad, you're going to have to answer what it was because I can't remember. Because I don't remember a lot of specifics about our touring years. So this big Charlie head, this wooden one, used to be behind Chad while he was playing drums. And some stages are not as stable as others. And at one show, it toppled over and was on Chad while he was trying to play his drums. Luckily, it's not heavy enough to do any brain damage, but it was impeding him. So guess what state that happened on tour on? And Chad will let you know who is right. Chad is the judge of this particular contest. So Chad, as soon as someone says it, chime in and tell them that they won. What state did this wooden Charlie head fall on Chad Lee, intrepid drummer and man about town and
Texas. I feel like California
ladies
is a pretty
man.
safe guess. Got a couple Texases.
Chad hasn't said that anyone was right yet, so I don't think it is California.
Washington, guess.
Oregon, Pennsylvania.
We've got Pennsylvania.
Oregon, Pennsylvania.
Trash Rogue, you saw us in Pennsylvania. That's cool. Was that at Kung Fu Necktie, maybe, in Philly?
We also played.
Chad said Texas. So who was the first
Oh, Texas. Who was the
got?
first Texas? Michelle said Texas, but Steve Keys
I
said
got Jerko.
Texas
Yeah.
first. Yeah, Steve Keys is Jerko. Steve, do you already have this? Can you let me know in the chat? I mean, this one is also signed by an old lineup, so this
There you
you
go.
might want this anyway.
Still collectible.
You know, something, so some people have asked us, quite a lot of people have asked us in the past about buying these old albums. We don't have enough stock to make them available anymore, and we didn't want them on the streaming services anymore because we're releasing new stuff. We wanted new things out there. Some people list them on eBay and Amazon for very inflated prices, which kind of makes me sad. I would like for people to have this album. I don't think you should pay over $100 for it, but I have seen them listed for that before. So you can find some on the internet, but the best way is to win them from us.
There you go.
But we don't have enough to put them up for sale anymore because we only have these archive copies.
So the first person to give us $100 wins.
Yeah, the first person to give us $100 wins a record.
Wins a free
Actually,
record.
that's the way contests should run. Awesome. So this goes to Steve Keys.
Uh-oh.
Steve, send your mailing address to the Silent Comedy Gmail, or I'll just ask you. I know Steve.
No comments, go.
But the contest was not rigged. I didn't even know it was Texas. So let's see here. Oh, Trash Road. We were playing with the Heavy in Philly, so that would have been TVA.
TVA, yeah.
Yeah.
I always want to say TSOL, but that's
TVA is a fun room. Dr. Dog just did some of their last tour shows there at TVA.
I was trying to think. Well, did we play with them?
Oh, so Chad, that was in Stevensville, Texas.
That was the rodeo.
Yeah. That was a strange show. We played with Whiskey Myers, who are a great band, but the crowd did not care for us.
No.
And yeah, that was a little bit of a dicey show. We got booed, and yeah, we could have gotten beaten up, for sure. But we won them over eventually, but they didn't like us to start off with.
We've had so many great Texas shows, and that one was a scary
Yeah,
one.
we've had a blast in Texas all the time, and I think the problem was we were playing with a Texas country band in a small town that people were not happy that we were trying to do really different genres of music. They wanted to dance, and a lot of our songs are not really great for two-step. So that was kind of where the disconnect was. So
More of a boot scooting boogie.
let's see. Well, let's talk through some of these shirts that we have here. So I popped open the archives and I pulled out some shirts that people may not know of if you're a newer fan of the Silent Comedy. This is a run of shirts we did because obviously Justin's mustache is infamous worldwide. And so we wanted to make a shirt to commemorate all of the love that people have for Justin's mustache. So this is a I Mustache TSC shirt. It's a real classic. I love this one. It was very popular, as Justin is. That's a cool one. Another fun shirt here is this Moonshine shirt, which if you go to that top view, Jer, might be a little easier to see. It has a line from the song here on this banner across this kind of moonshine jug, and it says, "My spirits will drive you to drink." Then it has the band name kind of like athletic style, real big and bold here.
Oh, Miguel's in the chat.
This is a fun one. Oh, Miguel, hello. Ocala. Shout out to TJ. Buenas tardes. It's not really night out there, I guess. Is tardes afternoon or night?
Afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, you good.
I said something right.
Yeah. that was
So
pretty good.
another shirt that I'm happy to have here.
I just laughing at you.
I know. I should have learned Spanish a long time ago, and I'm always embarrassed, Miguel, that I can't speak Spanish. Let's pull out a different shirt, which is... I want to give away some of these because I love this shirt, and I want people in the U.S. to have it.
Amanda just asked about the ballet slippers shirt.
Oh, we might have one in this bin here, but we don't have very many copies of that. This shirt is very cool to me. This was our European tour shirt. This is the first time we've ever done a kind of classic rock and roll tour shirt with the dates on it and whatnot.
It's pretty cool.
So it has our European tour from 2016. It has all the dates on here. We've got Arras, France, Krefeld, Germany, Avesta, Sweden, Gävle, Sweden, Bremen, Germany, Nordstadt, Germany, Hamburg, Germany, Singwitz, Germany, Lachhammer, Cologne, Fürth, Bratislava, Duisburg, Unshed, Holland, Besançon, France, Sedantion, France. We have a bunch of cool shows here. All of these have really wonderful memories attached for us. We had a blast on our European tour. Until Jer and I got food poisoning in Spain somewhere around here, and we were really sick, unfortunately.
Where was that?
But we still had a ton of fun. We love Europe. We love all these countries that we visited, and everyone who came out to see us. That was a really special tour. But these were for that tour, so a lot of folks in the States haven't had a chance to even get this one. And the cover is, or the front, is an image that we had as our stage banner in Europe as well. I did a block print of a human heart, and then hand wrote this text and drew these things. And so it's this kind of bursting heart kind of logo. These shirts are really special to me, and I love them. They're printed with an enzyme discharge method, which means that it's not as dark and permanent of an ink. So as you wash it, it will kind of age in a really beautiful way and be like a little faded, like a shirt that you've had for decades. So these shirts are really cool. If you go back to that front view, Jer, I want to give away a couple of these. So I know that it's getting late for folks overseas. So I think a lot of our folks who are watching now are in America. But I like Chad's thing of doing trivia about where things happen to us on tour. So I'm thinking of something right now. I'm going to ask a trivia question to win this shirt. It is our black Euro tour shirt with tour dates on it from 2016. So in which state... What's a good one, Jer?
I was gonna say you should have them guess your European tour dates, but you just
Yeah,
went over
I just rattled them off. Or actually,
say where you got
maybe
that
in which country? Maybe we should do one of those. Narrow it down. Okay, this is a good one. This is a fun tour story. In what country were myself and our merch guy, Young Ben, out frolicking and partying to a point at which we got locked out of where we were staying and almost froze to death trying to sleep in a van? What country did that happen in? If you know it, that's a fun tour story, and it's real. It's very real. We didn't have cell phones turned on for this particular tour, and we could not reach anyone that we knew, and it was the middle of the night in a large city, but we still couldn't find options.
I feel like Blue Fire and Colleen probably have pretty good guesses.
And what happened after trying to sleep in the van is even crazier, but can't be shared with the public, unfortunately.
Can you share it with the winner?
Germany is a great guess, Tim and Colleen, but it is not Germany. Although, you know, Germany gets very cold, so that's a good instinct. Keep on guessing.
No, it's Germany, yeah.
I haven't seen the answer yet.
Are there
What
clues?
country did young Ben and I get locked out of our lodging after a night of partying and almost froze.
Some good guesses.
Netherlands, that's another good one. I think folks are getting thrown off by the cold aspect. This was, for this country, one of the coldest of this month that they'd ever had.
What do we got?
Colleen's the winner.
Germany?
It was England.
This was in
So
England.
that happened in London,
London, England.
and it was a wild time. And someday maybe young Ben and I will share the full story, but probably not. There's a lot of incriminating details in there. All right, Colleen.
Let's see.
Send your mailing address to the silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com with your preferred size for the Euro tour shirt. And I think Scotland was a very good guess, Bluey Fire, because it was also very cold when we were in Scotland on that tour. Much colder, to the point that it was even freezing cold on stage in the venue. It was in March, I believe, and it was like the coldest March that the UK had had in 100 years or something.
A bunch of sheep perished.
Yeah,
freezes.
it was very, very cold in
really
England.
Tough driving around to get to shows and that.
So I want to give away more of these, though.
All right.
So I think I want to do just a quick little thing. I'm going to think of a number between 1 and 10. We're going to go back to this. Comment with the number between 1 and 10 that I'm thinking, and if there are duplicates, everyone will get a shirt that's right. So, but you can only comment once with a guess on a number.
I gotta keep track of this.
So, go ahead and comment number between 1 and 10. What I'm thinking. Everyone will get. I'm gonna let it go for a while. I'm not gonna say if there's a winner, so that there could be a few duplicates, because I want to give away. I want to give away more. Yes, but each person can only guess one number.
I have to cross-check this.
And Nathaniel is the police,
Oh boy.
and he is checking. I'll wait for a couple more numbers to come through. A number between 1 and 10. Just pop that in the chat. We've got a good amount. And I do see the number up there. I was just waiting for a few more duplicates. All right. So for this European tour shirt, the number I was thinking of is 4.
Okay.
So Lisa B.
It's like Miguel, Lisa B.
Ish Sandoval as a good guess, but nope.
Miguel,
Kavoko,
Lisa B.
which we talked about me mispronouncing your screen name before, and I still can't remember what it is. And Miguel, you might already have this shirt, but let us know. Send your mailing address to silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com. It is in the pinned comment at the top of the comment section. Your mailing address, your full name, and your preferred shirt size for this Euro tour shirt, which is very fun. And Miguel, if you already have this, let me know in that email and I'll send you a different fun shirt. So that is very cool. You know, one thing I'd like to do, so our whole, aside from my lifelong dream of being a QVC host, the whole reason that we wanted to do this is the thing that I miss the most about touring is interacting with people. And I used to go back to the merch booth a lot at our shows and talk to people because I love meeting folks. I love meeting people who like our music, talking to you about our music. And it's obviously harder to do now. We haven't been playing a lot of shows. So I wanted to bring the merch table to you. So in the spirit of that, if anyone has any questions for us as well about our music or really about anything, I'm here. My brother Jeremiah is here, who is the other primary songwriter of the silent comedy. Nathaniel's here from Fierce Creatures.
I'm also here. Yeah.
And you can ask us whatever you want. We will decide if we'll answer it or not. But feel free to throw any questions in the chat, and I will address them because we're here to basically just hang out with y'all. And in the meantime, give away some stuff just for fun since you're here. So that is the deal.
I think on this next, we should maybe give away some stuff to whoever has some of the best questions.
Ooh, Nathaniel. Nathaniel is like the
I'm trying to earn my keep.
It's like the talk show producer.
While I visit the little
Yeah, totally.
I just got to tap the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nathaniel had a great
really
yeah.
Nathaniel had a great idea. We will do some giveaways.
I think you can. Yeah, you going?
Oh,
Yeah.
we're doing a little changeover. Just a little staffing change. There's Jeremiah.
Hey.
Nathaniel's now going down the
Yes.
stairs. This is an expansive facility. There's so many places to go here. Nathaniel had a great question, or a great idea, which is we will give some prizes out to folks who have the best questions. So ask us whatever you want in the chat, and I will pick some winners and attempt to answer your questions for you. So we've got... Faith said, you guys were the nicest band I've met and seen. It was Florida. Oh, that's very wonderful. Thank you. We do try to be nice people. That is our goal. Doesn't always work, but Tim Crone asked, how did you guys connect with the Heavy? That is a wonderful question. At the time, we were handled by a large management company who bought out a smaller management company in England, and the Heavy was on that roster. So they came under the umbrella of our management company, and they were looking for who would be a good fit to tour together. And they said, you guys might work with them. And we weren't really familiar with the Heavy's music at the time. And we don't really play the same genre of music. So we just did a week of dates to see how we would work together. And it worked super well. And we really love those guys as people. We really enjoy them a lot. We had a lot of fun together. And so we kept doing tours together. That 1 week chunk that we did turned into doing 2 full North American tours together and a tour of the UK together. And we've had a blast on every one of those. We love playing with those guys. Their music is amazing. They're really fun and friendly dudes. And we would tour together all the time if we could. And I think they're working on a new record right now. So keep your eyes out for a new record from the Heavy. They're an amazing band. So let's see. Jared, pop your face in and say hi.
There you go.
There's Jeremiah. So that was a great question, Tim. Probably get this a lot. Bluey Fire says, longtime fans will hate me asking, but I was wondering how you got the name The Silent Comedy. That is a great question as well, Bluey Fire. I was in film school when I was a young lad, and battery's out on this little light. That's okay. We don't really need it. It's just the overhead light. I was in film school when I was younger, and we were learning all about the early days of film, silent films, and most of them were comedies. You know, you have Charlie Chaplin represented here and here, Buster Keaton, Laurel and Hardy, all of these guys. I believe Laurel and Hardy started in the silent area and transitioned to talkies, right? I might be wrong about that. But the early days of cinema were mostly comedies. And so in these classes, they would keep saying silent comedy, silent comedy, silent comedy, referencing it all the time. And I had a notebook that I would take notes in, and I wrote down good band name, The Silent Comedy. And I went to my brother and was like, oh, we should start doing some folk songs under this. And he said, that's a terrible name. And no one else that started playing with us in the early days liked the name either. I was the only one who liked it. And we stuck with it. And I think it's fun because it kind of calls to mind a lot of images. But we have every once in a while run into issues on tour where people showed up to a venue thinking they were going to see a comedy show. And they were surprised because we are not. So in that way, it's not a good name, but I like it. So thank you for that question, Bluey Fire. Tragedy's Smile says, my family's from Imperial Beach. How long did you guys live here? We lived in Imperial Beach for 6 years, Jer?
Maybe 5 to 6.
I think we lived in Imperial Beach, which is in the southern part of San Diego, right on the border with Mexico, for 5 or 6 years. Can't totally remember. My brother and I, our family traveled all around the world and lived out of backpacks for a while. And when we settled back in the United States, we landed in Imperial Beach, and we stayed there for 5 or 6 years before we moved to downtown San Diego, where we lived for a good amount of time. Which is where the silent comedy started, was really in downtown San Diego.
I think biggest songwriting influence is kind of a good question.
Oh, I'm going to answer RM's real quick, but that is a good one. I'll answer that after. So RM asked, not a great question, but curious, what's the oldest song still in the set list? That is a very good question. I would have to say Impossible Name. Probably that we play the most, right, Jer?
Yeah, I think so. That was one of the first couple songs written for the band.
Yeah. So I was talking a little bit before about how the song Impossible Name is on this, our first LP. And we still play it pretty regularly, probably like 30% of shows.
There's four songs that I think of as being
Yeah, the first ones.
first four, like you did two, you had two and I had two.
Yeah. So there is a very first song that led to the creation of the silent comedy. It's called Lemonade. We don't do it very often. We pull it out very rarely now. It's like 10 minutes long. It's only 2 chords. It never changes. And it just involves me screaming a lot. So we don't play it that much anymore. But this song Lemonade was the song that Jer and I were in a different band before that sounded totally different. And I had written this weird 10-minute long folky opus. And people started to really like it when we play it with the other band. And so we decided, hey, why don't we just start writing some songs that are more in that vein? And so that was the birth of the silent comedy. But Impossible Name is the one that still gets played the most, that is the oldest. Great question. So I'm going to say, so Doug, hi Doug, by the way. Doug is a buddy of ours from North County. We enjoy seeing him always when we get the chance. Biggest songwriting influence, man, that's tough.
It's really hard.
It is really hard. I think for me, Tom Waits, Nick Cave. I like a lot of solo songwriters. That's in my kind of top ones. Simon and Garfunkel, Cat Stevens, huge influences for me. What about for you, Jer? We write different styles of songs, so I'd be curious to see what you say.
A lot of those are in there. Jeff Mangum, too.
Jeff Mangum, Jer said. Great answer. I
Jenny
don't know
Lewis.
how well you can hear it. Jenny Lewis. Oh, Gillian Welch.
Gillian Welch, for sure.
So these are inspirations. We aren't saying that we get anywhere close to being as good of songwriters as these people are. Like Gillian Welch is one of the best, maybe, not to be reached by many other songwriters. She's incredible.
Newsom, I think, too.
Joanna Newsom. All of these
the ones
folks
that
are
you said.
influences on
Then,
silent
like,
comedy.
From the long ago past, David Bowie's in there.
David Bowie.
Just 'cause, like, who doesn't love David Bowie?
Yep. Yeah, that's good. That was a good question, Doug. I dig it. I saw somewhere a question for Nathaniel. Yes, from Steve Keys. How much would I have to pay for a full Fierce Creatures concert? This is a good question. This is a question that I've asked Nathaniel several times over the years.
There's a lot of people in that band, so
How
There's a lot of
much
people in the band. Probably
would
enough
you-
for all of us to retire, I would say. Comfortably.
What's that figure?
Yeah,
It's a
right?
7-person band?
That is true.
Goodness. I ask that question often,
A zero
and
for each of us.
I keep trying to think of
they
a
always
way
say
to
7 can live as cheaply as 10.
Right, exactly. So,
I keep trying to think of a way to convince Fierce Creatures to do a reunion show with the silent comedy, and someday maybe we'll make it happen. I don't know.
There's actually there's a lot of projects going on. Ultra Diamonds is a project that's spawned from Fierce Creatures.
I'm going to restate what Nathaniel's saying. I'm not sure how much he comes across on the mic, but Fierce Creatures has spawned a bunch of spin-off projects,
Solo projects
that are great.
Mhm.
Ultra Diamonds.
Ultra Diamonds is one. Light Thieves.
Light Thieves is another.
Who Ultra Diamonds is kind of an incarnation of. Tomas, our drummer, has 1800s.
1800s.
Is another one.
Yeah. Check these bands out. They
that's all I
all
can think of right
came
now,
from
right.
the diaspora of Fierce
Yeah,
Creatures.
so it all includes artists or some of the members of Fierce Creatures.
I love it.
So, and I think you can stream it all.
Okay,
So.
cool. Jer said you can hear Nathaniel on the mic,
Oh,
so I'm not going to
okay.
restate what he said. Awesome. These are all good questions. So I'm going to pick some winners from these questions. Oh, let's talk about this one.
What are we giving them? Or do you just want to write their names down?
Cavo said, Cavo, I remember you told me what your real name is, and it would be so much easier for me to say, was it Andrew or Andy from another live stream? I can't remember, but this is a good question. Or it was a follow-up, I guess, to Joshua Branham's question. when can we expect a Dark Souls live stream? Doomjoy asked, what are your favorite games? Joshua Branham asked, what was it like to have our song featured in the Dark Souls trailer? So I'll kind of address all of those. We were approached by an editor that I know because I work in film and television. We were approached a long time ago by an editor that I know who was cutting a trailer for a video game. And he said, hey, I want to use some of your guys' music and wanted to see if that's okay with you and whatnot. And we said, yeah, totally, go ahead. And so he cut a trailer to this video game, which we didn't know what it was at the time, to our song All Saints Day. And All Saints Day has a big orchestral kind of part, and then it's very intimate in another part, so it was good for a trailer. And he brought it to the studio, which is Bandai Namco, and they liked it, but they were like, we were thinking something more upbeat that wasn't as soft in the beginning. So he cut another trailer to our song Bartholomew and brought that to them, and they were like, oh, we like this too, but we like both of them. So they decided to do 2 trailers for the game Dark Souls, and that was the game that he was working on. And it came out, and we at the time were not really gamers. We've probably gotten more into gaming since then. So I could address the what our favorite games are question in a minute, but we weren't really at the time, so we had no idea what Dark Souls was, or no idea that it was a game that people were looking forward to coming out. And it really was an explosion of new fans, and we were very surprised when it hit the internet because we had zero idea what to expect. So that was a very cool moment in the silent comedy's history. It was the thing that introduced us for the first time to a lot of folks, and we were very grateful for it. I still have not played Dark Souls because I've heard from many people that it is very difficult, and I'm not a great gamer, and so I just think I would die constantly.
I've played the 3rd one, and I've not been able to get past the intro. I kind of
Yeah.
have given up.
Absolutely.
Like,
And Nathaniel's a better gamer than I am, so.
Elijah's big into it. That's
But now, I do play more video games now, and I play on the Switch primarily. So my favorites, well, I'll say from the past and then from now. The Nintendo 64 was a life-defining thing for us when we were younger. GoldenEye was like a cultural revolution. I remember playing GoldenEye with friends. So that's an old game. Mario Kart, GoldenEye, Star Fox on the Nintendo 64. From newer, I'm still in the Nintendo world. I play Switch a lot. It's not an obscure answer at all, but Breath of the Wild is just one of the best video games ever. What about you, Jer, on Switch? You have any different? Cuphead is really great on Switch.
I mostly play with my daughter, yeah. So it's she loves Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
She likes playing Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. I have gotten into Witcher. Nathaniel introduced me to Witcher, so I've gotten into The Witcher 3 and beat that. And Assassin's Creed I've been getting into. So I feel like I'm just so behind the times that I'm just discovering, like, wow, video games are really good. So I'm just an old man who is like learning about stuff way later than anything.
We've dropped some viewers since we started the
video game talk. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, Luke Cavo.
Welcome to our
Why
Twitch
did I
stream.
think your name was Andrew? I don't know where that came from. Sorry about that.
Oh, Chris.
So Miguel, GoldenEye, awesome. Chris, yo, good to see you. Our buddy Chris from Norway just asked,
See, somebody asked about Lemonade.
what are the odds we'll see the return of songs like Daisy, Carnival, and Lemonade in a remastered form in the future? That is a great question, Chris. I'm happy to see you tuning in. Chris is all the way in Norway, although I'm not sure if you're in Norway right now. Let us know. You might be traveling. We've hung out with Chris on in three different countries, I believe. Norway, the UK, and the States. And Barcelona too. Wow, 4 countries, Chris, we've hung out with you in. He asked, what are the chances that songs like Daisy, Carnival, and Lemonade would come back in a remastered form? That's a good question. In this new chapter, now that we're recording music again and we're releasing music again, Jeremiah and I really want to redo some of the older songs because we really love them, but we didn't have a lot of the tools at our disposal back then to record with. And we want to make them sound the more of the way that they were in our head back in the day now. So we will be recording older stuff from the catalog and releasing it over time. Some this year, some next year. But not all of them will be coming back. So we'll see which ones make it. But one of the ones you mentioned, Daisy, I really want to redo because I love that song. And I want to bring it back. Carnival, not so much. It's not a good chance. Chad loves Carnival, but the rest of us, we just don't really care for the sound of it anymore, honestly. But that's a good question, Chris. So what are some other ones I missed?
I like the Jawbone question.
Oh, where's the Jawbone question?
Joshua Branham talks about the trolley show and it said, what's it like? How often do you break out the animal jawbone
as an instrument? Okay, so Joshua, that's a good question about the jawbone. If people don't know what he's talking about, there are several acoustic videos online. One is a trolley show that we did in San Diego. So you could just search the silent comedy A Trolley Show on YouTube and it'll come up. Another is a session that we did in Golden Gate Park in San Francisco called Living Room Sessions, I believe. If you search the silent comedy acoustic, these will come up. Some of them are on our channel. But Chad was playing the jawbone of a donkey, which is a traditional folk instrument from various countries. And what happens is the teeth in it are loose. And so you can play it kind of with a wooden mallet down the front and have a certain sound. You can hit it and get almost like a vibroslap sound. Like it's a very cool, organic, kind of primitive instrument.
A great example of it is if you look up the David Wax Museum, the violinist in that band plays it.
There's a band called the David Wax Museum that plays the jawbone a lot and really well. But to answer your question, how often do we pull it out? Not very often anymore, just because we haven't been doing that many acoustic performances lately. But when we do perform acoustic, it's great because it gives Chad a lot of options from a percussion standpoint. And we have always gotten questions about the animal cruelty aspect of it. I have no idea where the jawbones come from. I'm guessing they come from animals that died naturally. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
and lived a long, full life.
Need it anymore at
Yeah.
that point.
The good thing is there's not an enormous demand for donkey jawbones for music. So it's not, there aren't factory farms where they're raising donkeys for this purpose. So that's the story.
Question about a live album, which from RM, which I thought was interesting. Do you on any of your do you have any live recordings on any of the albums? Are there any songs that were recorded or tracked?
Good question. So RM asked if we have any live albums. We don't have live albums, and we don't have anything on an album that was released that is live, right, Jerry?
No.
The closest thing is we did a kind of EP recording that is so rare that I don't have it here, because actually there are only like 5 copies, maybe even less than that, maybe 2 copies still in existence that we have. It's called 2 Nights in a Room. And they're in a safe somewhere, so they are not here for this. But that's the closest we have to releasing live things, because we all just tracked together in a room with some mics.
That was completely live. It wasn't at a show, but it was live recording.
We want to do a live album, and we have wanted to do a live album for quite a while. We just need to find the right time and place. I will say probably the best chance for a live album from us is probably live from the Casbah. I've wanted to do that for many years. Casbah is our favorite venue of all time, and I would really love to capture the energy that we have there. So maybe someday. But on our YouTube, you can see live videos of us from the Casbah. There are also some other ones that exist. If you search Silent Comedy Live, there's some ones that are well produced that exist, but there's a lot of cell phone videos that are not good at all. So I wish people wouldn't upload cell phone videos of us, but that's the answer there. Any other good questions, Nathaniel? So I'm going to start assigning prize winners to the questions.
I was gonna say, we need to...
So let's see. The first one that I thought was really good was from Tim Crone. How did you guys connect with the heavy? And I had answered that before. Tim, that was a great question. So Tim Crone is a winner.
Okay.
Tim, please send your mailing address and name to the Silent Comedy Info or silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com.
Is that their screen name?
Yes, that is their screen name.
Oh, there it is.
So that's the first winner.
Do we know what we're giving them?
No, I'm going to give kind of a merch package to these winners. So I'm going to surprise everyone. I'm going to be throwing in some signed copies of our first EP. I'm going to be throwing in some This is a very cool thing. This is a little EP we did with our buddy Brian from Louis XIV producing. It has some versions of songs that are totally different than what made it on the records. This was like not even released commercially. It was a little like a handout. I'll throw in some of these to some of these merch packs. Just, you won't know what you're getting. Tim Crone is the first winner on that.
Got it.
Steve Key's already won, so I'm going to send you something extra, Steve, for your question to Nathaniel about Fierce Creatures playing. that was a great question.
Not a good question. But we'll still give Steve a little something.
Cavo, you're a winner for question about, you were the first to ask about a live album there, and you also asked a follow-up on the gaming thing, which is a great question. Cavo's a winner.
When you're done with that, you talked about Colleen's question about Brothers Grimm, because that's interesting to our future live.
Absolutely. And Roger is a winner.
Roger.
RM.
Is that
Yes.
Roger?
It is Roger.
SD?
Yep.
From SD?
I didn't realize until he said, "Hey, it's Roger." So hi, Roger. Good to see you.
It's the same Roger. I think I saw you at the last show for Wild Horses, man. If you were off stage right.
Possibly so.
What was Roger's question?
Sarah and Roger are wonderful, wonderful members of the music community in San Diego. So it's good to hear from you, Roger.
What did Roger ask about?
Roger asked about.
Was that the live album one too, or was that something else?
Yeah, Roger asked about live album, and Roger's just been a great participant so far. So what were you saying, Jer, about Colleen's question?
She was asking about
anything new from Brothers Grimm?
In that context, about what we're going to do.
Totally. So Colleen asked if there's going to be anything new from Brothers Grimm. That was a name that Jeremiah and I performed under when we would do acoustic shows, when it was just the two of us. Because we do several varieties of shows. There is our big, full silent comedy rock and roll show. There's a kind of stripped down silent comedy rock show that if you search the silent comedy Jam in the Van, there's a really good representation of that stripped down electric thing. There's silent comedy fully acoustic, which is more where you'd see the jawbone. Then if Jer and I just played, we were calling it Brothers Grimm, and we would pop up and play at all kinds of places, and just the two of us would play, which is really awesome. We're not going to use that name anymore, but Jer and I are going to do more stuff together and do more acoustic songs and reimaginings, and we're going to start doing them more on our Instagram and on our YouTube here, live streaming. So we're probably going to not announce those very far in advance. Maybe we will at the first one, but we're going to start doing little streams where we just turn on live and play some songs and do whatever. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We're going to be doing a lot more of this live streaming stuff. This one was a test of this kind of format, but we're going to start doing just a lot more live content because we love interacting with y'all, and we want to show you more of our recording process, more of our acoustic performances. So that was a great question, Colleen. So Colleen's a winner for that question.
I wrote that down.
Boom.
Vaughn V2 had asked about, how has the global pandemic affected your touring studio work? I think that's kind of a good answer, what you were talking about.
Yeah.
More live streaming. More,
that's a great question about
other-
how the pandemic has affected our work. Obviously, we can't play live as much, and we hadn't been playing live as much anyway. We had gotten down to this zone where we'd only do a couple of shows a year, usually festivals. Part of that is because we all live in different places now, for the most part. So for a festival, we'd all fly into one place and meet up and do a show. And we've been doing a handful of those. But we don't feel good about playing indoors right now, trying to keep people safe. So that really affected, as we started to talk about, Jeremiah and I, doing more silent comedy music, releasing more music, the pandemic has affected it in the way that we're doing more of this kind of stuff. We're trying to meet people where they're at, and it's fun because a lot of folks who are able to tune into a live stream live in places that we've never played before. And so something like this, where we could just have a conversation and share stories and talk to folks, you've never had that real experience from us at a show if you live in a town that we've never been to. So we wanted to start getting more active on being around in the digital sense to talk with folks, because we love all the places that people listen, all the ways people found out about us. We love that, and anyone anywhere that is into the music we make, we really appreciate it, and it means a lot to us. So we want to talk to you directly. And yeah, that's a pretty good answer for how COVID has affected our stuff.
Quick answer to Miguel. Dandy del Sur.
Yes.
Dandy del Sur.
I would.
What was Miguel's question?
What's your favorite bar?
Oh, favorite bar in Tijuana. Well, Dandy is a wonderful.
classic.
Yeah, Dandy probably is
I
our
wonder if
favorite.
Mezcalera's still around.
Miguel, is Mezcalera still around in TJ? I know so many places have gone out of business.
I can't remember.
We miss
name.
Tijuana so much.
I can't remember the name of the bar, but I danced with a Cher drag impersonator one
Excellent.
time at a
Wow.
bar. Yeah, I think it ended up pantsless as part of it. Again, this is not a family
Nothing
stream.
wrong with that.
So, B. Schaefer said, "Turn on notifications, people." I think that's a good reminder to us. What do you smash the?
Oh yeah.
Smash the subscribe.
Oh yeah.
button.
I was practicing earlier. I
Yeah,
think
we were
the
practicing.
children say smash the subscribe
Smash
button.
Smush
So, follow us on Instagram. A lot of folks who are here on YouTube, if you aren't following our Instagram yet, it's just at The Silent Comedy. Follow us on there because we're going to start doing a lot more Instagram lives. And that Instagram is the most reliable way to find out about what we're up to. So another little thing, I don't want to go on too long here, so I'm going to be wrapping up relatively shortly. But another big thing about COVID is we have been working a lot behind the scenes as a band, The Silent Comedy. We have a lot more music coming up to release. We're going in the studio for a chunkier portion of songs coming up here pretty soon. And we also are going to be performing live in 2022 quite a bit more. Fingers crossed, everything kind of goes okay. But we already are setting up dates now for live performance this year with The Silent Comedy. So definitely follow us on Instagram at The Silent Comedy. Subscribe here on YouTube. Turn on notifications, and we will be talking a lot more about that in the coming months. So can't announce anything just yet, but we just signed on to a show that we're very excited about, and we got a lot more performance coming people's way. So that is very cool. Bluey Fire, competition for the Crow merch shirt. Excellent. That is a good question. How long have we been going, Jer?
About an hour and a half.
Okay.
Hell,
We've been going about an hour and a half. Bluey Fire asked if we're going to do a competition for this, the famous crow shirt design. Let me see. This is a wonderful shirt. Anyone would be lucky to have it. Let me see what sizes we have here, and we might go off of that because we have very limited numbers. It was so popular that we don't have a lot of them left anymore.
Ooh, Sacramento is fun. It's been a while. We actually played a show together in Sacramento. That was a wild
Yeah.
night.
We
Yeah.
played with
I can
Fierce Creatures
remember
in Sacramento.
At
We-
the Flu.
Sacramento is one of our favorite towns ever. We've always had a great time there. And that's another answer to how COVID has affected us. Our buddies Louis the 14th were doing a handful of reunion shows, and we were scheduled to play with them in Sacramento at Holy Diver on March 11th of 2020. We were all super excited for the show. I was about to head to the airport to get on a plane to go reunite with all of our friends in Sacramento, and the show got canceled. First cancellation for COVID, and we were very bummed about that. So we owe Sacramento a show. We can't wait to get back, and we're very excited to get back. So we will do a competition for this shirt. We only have XLs left. I will say this is a tri-blend. I do believe they shrink a bit. So, this is American Apparel tri-blend. XL is not the same as a normal brand XL. It's going to be a little bit smaller. We only have XLs left of this, but we will do a little thing for winning it here. Let's say
How many do you have?
we have 3.
Should we just do a gimme? First people to say gimme.
Okay, this is gonna be a speed. This is gonna be a speed test. If you want this shirt, type crow into the chat,
Oh,
and the first 3 people we will give them to.
Let's see who we got.
We're going crazy. It's like a used car commercial
I know,
now.
I like it. This is fun. They heard
Oh,
me.
they're doing
They're
gimme.
also-
That's
I'm
okay.
Sorry, I screwed
That's
that.
okay.
I messed that one
We'll
up.
still do it.
We'll do
honor
it.
it.
We'll take it.
So
Oh,
Bluey
now we got-
Fire.
Or should we go with?
Well, Bluey Fire's in the top 3 anyway, and it was
I'll
Bluey
let-
Fire's idea for the giveaway. So I'm gonna go with Crow, which is the
Okay.
official.
there we go. Okay.
So we've got Chris from Norway.
Chris,
We've got
okay.
Bluey Fire. I don't know where you're from, and we've got
Okay.
Tragedy's Smile, our winners.
Okay.
Wait,
I got
Chris,
Billy,
Billy,
JT4.
and Bluey Fire.
Okay,
Sorry,
so we got
Tragedy
the same
Smile, you were
ones.
number 4. I'm sorry, my thing
Okay.
didn't refresh. So Chris, Billy, JT4, and Bluey Fire, you are winners of the Crow shirt. Send your name and mailing address to silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com. It's up at the top of the chat.
Sorry.
This is
sorry,
fun. I like
everyone.
giving stuff away.
Yeah, sorry everyone who typed "gimme." I'm not. I'm just throwing out suggestions. I'm not. I am not in control here.
So let's see here. We have to wrap up relatively soon. I don't want to go all day and all night here. These are very interesting. Jared, if you want to go to that top-down view, this is a pint glass. The camera has a hard time auto-focusing on certain objects. There we go. This is a pint glass that we made for the silent comedy. It says, "Enjoy the refreshing taste of the silent comedy" on it. These are a very fun merch item, but the difficulty with them is they break a lot during shipping, which we didn't anticipate. So that's why they're no longer like on the merch store. If you switch back to that front view, Jared, I want to give away a pint glass. And I think a thing that might help it not break is if we stuffed a shirt inside of it and used it as padding. So I want to give away a pint glass and a shirt. Since it is a pint glass and the silent comedy is known as a band who enjoys beverages, I want people to list their favorite beer, and I'm going to select a winner based on my preference for beer out of that list. So this is a highly subjective contest. Put your favorite beer in the chat, and I will, just on my own druthers with no objective guidance, I will pick a winner.
I screwed something. People are still commenting "gimme" on this stuff.
You're too good, Nathaniel. You're such a voice of authority that people just followed.
The live streams are great though.
It's
'cause
fun.
It's like I get to cheat.
Exactly.
You got so much power.
Exactly.
You got so much power
I
here.
currently feel intoxicated with the power that I possess here.
This is good. Somebody's throwing.
I
out
feel
some
like kind of
San
like a
Diego
little ruler,
originals.
you know?
We got a ballast point, Mother Earth in there.
Ooh, Mother Earth, Doug. That's a good pull from North County. I like that. We used to go to Mother Earth Tap Room all the time because our old headquarters was in Vista.
Insurgente.
So Doug's a winner.
Blood and
Doug's a winner
Okay.
for the pint glass and shirt.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Doug, email the address at the top of the comment thing. Let me know what shirt you would like because you have some of our oldest, most OG shirts.
Hey, Chad comments
So-
Northern Pine. Hey.
Hey, Chad. Is that a paid post? Chad is one of the brewers at Northern Pine, a brewery started by really good friends of ours, and it is exceptional beer. So they deserve a shout out. And
So wait,
and
is
a,
Chad trying to win his own merch?
yeah, Chad,
Is that
do
what's-
you want a pint glass, Chad? You
is
could
Chad
just
being-
ask me, and I'll
is that-
give you one.
is that-
I'll bring Chad next time I come
Yeah.
out to California. I'll bring some pint glasses for you.
Oh, I like 394. The Ale Smith. That's good.
Ooh, I see one that I really like. So Doug's a winner with Mother Earth.
Pliny is at the
Ish,
younger or the elder
Ballast
now?
Point Sculpin, you're a winner for that because Ballast Point has gotten,
Ish.
worldwide now with distribution, but Sculpin used to be one of our very favorite local brews, and it used to be really rare to see it in other places, so we'd get very excited. So Ish wins with Ballast Point.
Remember, there are no wrong answers except for the ones that Josh doesn't pick.
Yes, exactly. Joshua Branham, Kentucky Moonshine is a great answer for favorite beer. I love thinking outside the box, but you already won. So,
We'll just give him a.
maybe Josh, I like that answer so much. I'm going to send you a
mention.
pint glass in addition to what you won the first time. Because you're just in Kentucky. It's close. It's easy for the post office to, or the postal service to get it there. So Pliny, David, wonderful answer. Pliny,
Younger or elder? Younger or elder?
Pliny, younger or elder? That's a good question. I would say elder. No, yes, elder was one of the reigning favorite bands of the silent comedy for many years.
Yeah.
From when it was very hard to get a hold of to when it was a little easier to get a hold of. Pliny the Elder is a great, great beer. And we went on tour to the Russian River Brewing, to their main brewery, on like a pilgrimage because we love that beer so much. So that's a great answer. So David Barr wins as well.
David Barr.
Okay, we're switching to something
It's
else.
Russian River, right?
Russian
Yeah,
River,
it's
yeah.
Russian River.
I like their blind pig.
So
I like their
everyone-
Sours, man. Supplication.
Everyone there, I'll keep saying this just in case anybody missed it. The email address is pinned at the top of the chat. Please send us your mailing address so that we can send you fun stuff that you win, or else we have no way to get it to you. So please email that. All right, I'm going to be wrapping up soon. If there are any more questions, please reach out. Questions for Nathaniel are welcome and encouraged. Questions for Jeremiah, welcome and encouraged.
Rock the Casbah.
There was a Rock the Casbah beer, Tessa, and I'm trying to remember what brewery did that. I want to say it was St. Archer or Alesmith. It was either Alesmith or St. Archer did the Casbah beer, and I was so excited to see it, but I was living in New York City at the time, and I wanted to try to like bribe one of my friends to go buy a 6-pack for me and save it. And I never got to have the Casbah beer. I was bummed. Chad said it was a hangover dream waking up in the van at Russian River Tap Room.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
did so
I'm
many
sure
fights.
I'm sure we were hungover, and then we cured our hangovers at Russian River. We are all very responsible, calm down older gentlemen now, but we used to get after it, as they say.
We just sit around and talk about.
Now we just talk about all the crazy times we had. Let's see here. So I'm gonna be. Oh, Bluey Fire. That's a good question. Charlie Chaplin stickers. There are no more left, which is sad because we loved the Charlie stickers. We got rid of them all, and as I looked through all this archive stuff, I couldn't find any anywhere. Oh, but I do have something fun to share. So we don't have too much longer left, but I have a couple more things that I want to show folks. So Jared, let's go to that top-down camera. This is a very cool poster that I discovered in searching through the archive. I totally had forgotten about this poster, but I love it. I cannot remember. Oh, it says right here. That's good. Posters by. Oh, this is from Lohman. So Tim Lohman of Low Volts designed this poster, which is fun. I couldn't remember who designed it for a second. This poster is when the Silent Comedy, Blackout Party, and the Howls all played at the Casbah. That is a wonderful lineup. It's great bands. The Howls are back making music again and releasing music. We're so excited. If you don't know this band, the Howls, find them on Instagram and follow the Howls. They are a great, great band, and I still listen to their first record every month or so because I love it so much. So this poster is really cool. It's hard to see on here, but it is signed. And it is signed by an earlier lineup of the band, and I'm going to see who it was at that point. So Mr. Chad Lee, who you may have heard from the chat on this live stream. You may know him from there. Chad was playing drums with us at this point, but we still had Ian in the band on violin. So this is kind of a transitionary period for the Silent Comedy. Tim Graves was still in the band. He used to play harmonica and do backing vocals and guitar. Jeremiah, Justin, myself. So that was the lineup. It was me, Jer, Justin, Chad, Ian, and Tim was the lineup that signed these posters. We have a handful of them. They're very cool, and I forgot they existed. So this is what I'm going to do for this one. Everyone who has been to the Casbah for a show and would like this poster, you don't have to, if you're not into posters or whatever, it's all good. But if you have been to the Casbah for a show in San Diego, comment in the chat and I will choose some winners for that, for this poster. It's signed Casbah poster, some great San Diego bands, and designed by one of the great San Diego musicians, Tim Lohman.
Chad, you can't win this one.
Chad, you can't win this. I can only personally hand it to you. You can't win it. My love cannot be bought. I don't know what that means. That doesn't have anything to do with it. So, Jared, let's switch back to the front camera. I'm looking here. Revival is a great song by the Howls, Miguel. That's a great, it's a wonderful song, and I love it. Oh, you know, I'm going to make that top camera lighter. Is it going lighter? No, that's darker. That's lighter. Okay, now that light went out. Let's see here. So, Tessa, you have been to the Casbah. You're a winner. Boom. It's happening already. Ish, you and Tessa have gone a few times, so you're a winner now, too. Boom. Obviously, Doug, we've hung out at the Casbah before. Doug, you're a winner. I'm already sending you something, I think, so I'm sending you this also. Oh, Tessa, you discovered us opening for Transfer at the Casbah. Those were very special shows, and I wish we had a poster from that. We did a handful of shows where we were co-headlining with Transfer, so we did multiple nights, and we would play last one night, and they would play last the other night. Those are some of the funnest shows we've ever done. We love those guys. One of my favorite bands, not San Diego bands, but one of my favorite bands ever of all time in the world, Transfer. Love their music so much. Another band that we would love to convince to do a reunion show so we could play together. We really love playing with those guys, and we miss it. So, Chris, yes, the Homestead sessions we did with the Howls have introduced some folks to their music. You could go on our YouTube and see the Homestead sessions. We did a fun night where Dead Feather Moon, the Howls, and the Silent Comedy all got together at our old headquarters, the Homestead, and we each played one of our songs, but all of the guys played on every song, and so it was a real fun collaborative event, and it turned into kind of a rowdy party, and it took us days to clean up our house after that. I do remember someone, I won't say who, cracked eggs all over our kitchen floor. It just got, and I think we could have funded a small charity off of all the cans that were collected after that. That was a rowdy night, but it was fun. So let's see. Tessa won,
Okay, so
Ish
Tessa,
won,
Ish,
Doug won,
Doug.
and David. David will be the last winner for this signed Casbah poster, which I love, love, love so much. Oh, one thing I wanted to do on here, and we haven't done yet, is I wanted to do a personal inscription to someone. So, I have the perfect thing for that. Jared, if we go to that top-down view, this is something that is a little cooler these days because they have gone on to be quite successful. We did a co-headlining tour of the West Coast, or the Western United States, I guess, with our buddy Saint Motel back in the day. It was called the Summer Sweat Tour, which you can see down here. And this cool vintage 60s inspired illustration was done by Jeremiah, who is right there behind the camera. And this tour, the overhead cam is down. Let's go back to the A cam, Jer. Sorry about that. We lost the overhead cam, which is fine. We'll stay on this. This tour, this poster, there was space left because we would fill in show details there. So this is a perfect one for me to sign and put a custom message to someone on it. So comment in the chat if you would like this co-headlining poster. The Silent Comedy in Saint Motel has the year even, July 2011, the Summer Sweat Tour. This was shortly after we got done with a tour of North America with Ryan Bingham and the Dead Horses. If someone would like this, comment what you would like me to write to you in the chat, and I will pick a winner from that. And while we're doing that, Nathaniel,
Yo.
if you could pass me, there's a battery on that thing. It's smaller than all the other ones. I think I can get this top camera back up and running.
Is it this little guy?
Yes, sir, it is. If you pass that to me, I'm going to get this camera back up and running so that you can see that I am truly I am truly writing on this poster.
There we go.
I want it to be totally authentic.
Oh, so we're doing it live? What's the...
We're doing it live.
Somebody wrote, "Don't forget the Vegas residency." I don't know if is that what you want on the poster.
The Vegas residency and that tour was amazing. And speaking of partying too much, that was a wild, wild time that we had there in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan Resort. Okay. This guy needs to come back online.
And we're back.
So Amanda said don't forget the Vegas residency, but that's not what you want written on the poster, Amanda. Amanda, you might have one of these posters. No one is writing what they would like me to write. No takers. They don't look at the poster. Chatty is doing hieroglyphics.
I want you to draw.
Chris says, "Dang, Jared, that's a nice poster design." So, Chris, you could be the winner.
That is a pretty.
If you would like this poster, what would you like me to write on
taking
it?
their time to craft a true masterpiece.
Yeah,
that
maybe
is
so.
correct. Yeah, you only get one shot at this. That is true. He is writing it in a Sharpie, so there's no going back.
Colleen, that was your proposal, was 20 years of nothing. Yeah, can't wait to see you again. LOL.
I think.
Is that the full message?
I think these are just comments.
Well, Colleen said I did.
Maybe they just. Maybe you have to come up with something.
Shalimar, you would like to win it, so you can win it. Tell me what you would like me to write on it, and Shalimar could be a winner.
It's like an audience participation.
Chris says the base tabs for 30 coins. Oh, goodness. I don't even know how to play 30 coins. Jared did the base part on that. I don't even know.
Hotel poster.
Well, Chris, I'm going to do one to you, even though you didn't say something to write on it. Jared, let's go to the overhead.
From your pals across the water, the silent con. I was really hoping they were going to have somebody else's band name on there. Love Saint Motel.
Let's see here. So this is going out to Chris. So. Oh, and I have terrible writing. That's another thing I should have said before this.
Oh, is there only one of them? Shalimar said surprise me.
No, there are multiples.
Okay.
So. Oh, I'm going to switch to not cursive. Oh, I'm totally messing this up already, Chris. I'm putting can't wait to visit you in Norway. Because I want to get back to Norway. I've been a few times, and I want to get back. And I would just like to see you, Chris, and have a beer and say hello. Boom.
Nice.
So that is a message to Chris right there. Let's go back to the front facing one, Jerry. So Chris, Shalimar, and Bluey Fire are winners of this. And Bluey Fire already won something else, so I will send it to you with that. And I really hope I remember all of this because my memory is terrible. So let's see now. Is that it? Should we be done? We've already been going like 2 hours. The Jer and Nathaniel have been nice enough to hang and field questions and answer questions and be my friends in this time. My dogs have not made a guest appearance, even though they have access down here. But let's see. Yeah, Kava, that's a good point. That's why it's being recorded. I'll go back and cross-reference, make sure I don't miss anybody. So, you know, not this exact thing, we're not going to do all the time, but if you guys liked this, we might do this kind of thing again. I love giving stuff away. I think it's fun. We have these archive materials that a lot of people, if they're newer fans of the band, aren't even aware of some of these albums or shirts or things that we've done. So we'll do more like this, but we're going to just start doing more live content anyway. So definitely follow us on Instagram, The Silent Comedy. Subscribe here on YouTube. Turn your notifications on if you would like to see more stuff. We'll have more music coming.
Smash or gently press the subscribe button.
More shows. Smash or gently press the subscribe button. I would say gently press is better on your computer. But yeah, keep following us. We have a lot more music coming out. We have show announcements coming for 2022. I can say that if you live in the west of the United States, the western half of the United States, you will have opportunities to see us in 2022. Beyond that, we're not totally sure, but we are going to be playing more live, so keep an eye out for that. We have announcements coming. Let's see. I think that's good. I think that about does it. Nathaniel, pop in. Your face, Nathaniel. We want to see your face.
I don't know that people do.
Yay! Nathaniel's saying bye. Jer, pop in and say bye to folks.
Hold on. I'm going to have to...
Jer has a harder journey coming in.
Not a lot of room. Yeah, but there it is. There it is.
Thank you all for tuning in. We love to see where folks are checking us out from. So feel free to comment on our socials too. Let us know where you're watching and listening from. And we will talk to you all later. It's been fun to spend this time with you. Thanks for joining us here at my virtual merch booth. I miss this merch road case so much. This is my old tried and true road companion. And oh, that's something. Reminder, send your mailing address, those of you who won, to silentcomedyinfo@gmail.com. And also, there was something else I was going to tell people. Oh, yes, there will be a sale launching from this. We'll be putting new items up on our online merch store, and we will have a discount code we'll be announcing on Instagram for you to get a discount off of those items and everything in our merch store. So the deluxe edition Common Faults, it's remixed and remastered. So cool. We're looking at this is actually a really important announcement before we leave. Sorry, Jerry, you're ready to end it. But something that's really important for people to know, this is the first pressing of Enemies Multiply, which is super cool. The coolest packaging we've ever done. Paul Drohan, great graphic designer. Jerry, could you go to that top down? Great graphic designer did this. Inside, there is a very cool poster that is huge, the biggest poster we've ever done, with the Enemies artwork on it on one side, and a very cool lyric sheet on the other. The die cut in the front part is the knife, and it goes through to the interior sleeve. This is just a very cool record. You can go back to the front view now, Jerry. This pressing of this album is almost gone. It's almost sold out. We, I think, are down to like 20 copies of this album left. This was a limited edition pressing for the first pressing of it. So we are looking at options for doing a remix and a re-release of Enemies Multiply. But if you want to get the vinyl, the next pressing of them will probably not have all these bells and whistles, the die cuts and all the cool things. So if you want to get this record, there will be a discount code coming for the merch site, but I would order it now because there are only like 20 of these left for sale. So that's a good announcement. First limited edition pressing of Enemies Multiply. Get it now before it's gone. Other than that, thanks for joining, guys. It was really fun to hang out with you. And we'll see everybody later. Thank you.